Tonight, a Virginia community is mourning the loss of a firefighter killed in a home explosion on Friday night.
It looked like an inferno. It was horrific, and it looked like something out of a war zone.
Neighbors reported a possible gas leak just before 8 o'clock on Friday. Just moments after crews got there, they witnessed a catastrophic explosion. 13 people, including 11 firefighters, were injured in this blast. 45-year-old Trevor Brown, an 8-year veteran of the Sterling Volunteer Fire Company, did die at that scene after being trapped under the rubble. An investigation is underway. No official cause for the blast has yet been determined. Well, President Biden made his first visit to East Palestine, Ohio, more than a year after a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed with devastating effects on that community. NewsNation's Rich McHugh on the ground for us in Ohio with more on the president's promises to East Palestine residents and how the community is reacting tonight. Rich.
Hi, Natasha. So what stood out to me was what the president didn't say. He did not declare it a disaster here. He did not create, from what I can tell, a long-term medical or health monitoring plan. He did not agree to test inside homes here, which is something the residents very much want. There were two reactions among the residents, some that I watched alongside of. Their reaction was that this is disappointing, and the image of him drinking the tap water they called disgusting. Some of the residents who met with him I spoke to, they said this was an important first step, though. Take a look.
I want them to understand that we're not going home no matter what till this job is done. And it's not done yet. There's a lot more to do. The vast majority has been done. But we're going to stay to the very end. Every need is met.
More than a year after the derailment and toxic burn, President Biden came to East Palestine, met with first responders and a few residents. We sat down with them after and asked if their concerns were met.
We don't have our needs met yet, just based off of one presidential visit, but we are moving forward together. And I think that's a really important thing to recognize after today's visit.
In a letter prior to Biden's visit, more than 200 residents detailed key recommendations for the president, why they need federal help. Declare the area a disaster, help people relocate, conduct indoor testing, and create long-term health monitoring.
From what I heard, and I could be wrong, but from what I heard, none of those were agreed upon today or were greenlit. Do I have that right?
I would say it was definitely made clear that out of those demands, healthcare or some form of health monitoring is very much on the table. And it's just about figuring out what is right. That's the thing that excited me the most as someone who, as I've told you, I'm a cancer survivor, so that's always top of mind. And hearing multiple different agencies today and President Biden say that, healthcare is something that they are looking into, and I really believe that it will happen.
He did not talk about indoor air monitoring specifically. However, I do believe the federal funding from the NIH that he talked about, I believe some of those researchers are going to be doing some air monitoring.
But some East Palestine residents NewsNation spoke with called Biden's visit disappointing and the final nail in our coffins.
I understand that there are going to be ongoing frustrations from residents that are impacted because as of this moment, their needs still have not been met. And I think the Biden administration said that the federal government is going to fill in the gaps that the train company is not providing. We're not sure what that looks like yet, but we are certainly going to continue to hold the federal government accountable moving forward.
There's still work to be done. I think it's been a while, but there's still an opportunity here. And today was the day that, we opened that door.
Now, I spoke to the residents that you just heard from at length after the interview, and they want to be clear. This is not a win, but the beginning of a long fight, and they plan to be in Washington, continuing that fight in several weeks. Natasha?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.